Midas Famous. No shortcuts. Here to give you motivation and a little bit of inspiration. No shortcuts. Me and the boss ain't easy. Every day somebody needs me. It's no shortcuts. I wake up stretched, say a prayer, coffee and then some fresh air. Time to get it poppin'. I got a fresh 24. Hopefully I'm blessed with plenty more. Meanwhile, I'm thankful for the fire on the inside burning. I keep earning as the world keeps turning. The thing about life is you never stop learning. Hoping everybody Maxwell, Vernon. You make a plan, then you stick to it. Even in tough times, get through it. So get to it. And make sure your family's straight. We going worldwide, you understanding me, mate? Providing a platform where like minds can meet. Closed mouths don't get fed, want everybody to eat. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Tuesdays at noon, let's all get rich. It's no shortcuts. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the No Shortcut Show.
Hey.
Let's do a show.
Hey, let's do a show. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Hello to everybody locally. Hello to everyone nationally. Hello to everyone internationally. Today is Tuesday. You know what time it is. Tuesday, 12 noon. You know it is time for another edition of your favorite, hottest internet sensation by the name of the No Shortcut Show. We're gonna give you guys to come on in, a moment or two to come on in and get yourself situated. Carry your smart device around. Hello, Mom. Love you. Mom's here. Perfect attendance. Yeah, we're gonna get that free pass to Carowinds. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all
Get
come
the
on
sticker
in.
book out.
Yes, yeah. The golden stars. Absolutely. You guys come on in. Drop us a comment as you guys are coming on in. We understand this is the lunch hour, so we're here, ladies and gentlemen. Pull up your favorite smart device, your iPhone, your tablet, whatever you like to watch your stories on. You like to watch your stories? Yeah.
Little novellas.
We got to get Mom a prize. We're gonna have to figure it out, and she got to make sure that she gets that as well. Mom, thank you so much for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Please come on in. Put your if you're a former guest or you're just watching as of now, and you have a business, put your links in the in our comments. Let us know what type of promotions you have going on. Yeah, there we go. We got
Juan's
shout out
about
to
Juan. Juan's going to get a prize too because he's been very interactive.
Faithful,
he's been very interactive,
faithful supporter. Faithful supporter.
Word for the week. I'm put that back up there. Word for the weekend was that? Foundation. Yeah, at the Platoon group. Choose a word. This word was foundation. One. Can't have shortcuts when building a foundation.
That's right, man. Because you don't want the house to crumble. And the sad thing, it won't crumble till you be done finished it. They put that last little piece on there.
You still got something left. You're like, I should have used it.
Man. Yeah, and then it'll just tumble down. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, when building anything, you must have a strong foundation to hold up the rest of the weight of the objects and things like that. So
shortcuts. Also, I'm gonna put this up from Juan because his let's see, Cruise Planners Agency. See what Cruise Planners is up to. They're hosting a silent auction. So head over to Juan's Facebook and Instagram pages. Just like that, Juan Velasquez Cruise Planners.
Yeah, just like
Voyages donated a balcony cabin for two, valued at $3,200.
Let's get that back up.
The money raised will 100% benefit the Havens Men's Shelter in Rock Hill. So that's some good stuff. Bidding
nice.
So go in there and bid on that cruise.
Yes, definitely do that, ladies and gentlemen. And you can find them just as it says right there. Juan Velasquez Cruise Planners on Facebook. Go check him out. If you guys, the weather is getting warm, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be over there too. You know what I'm saying? Mom, I'm supporting the gospel of Jesus Christ. Amen. And absolutely to that. Speaking of strong foundations, right? That's where it all starts. That's where it all starts. But ladies and gentlemen, please go over there. The weather's getting warm. You guys are going to need some vacay. And not only do you want to work hard, ladies and gentlemen, when you're in business, you want to be able to treat yourself. You want to enjoy some of the fruits of your labor. definitely go pay our friend Juan a visit, see what he has going on. I'm sure he'll work with you if necessary, but he's got a lot of great things going on. And if you need to take a little vacation for yourself, a significant other, or a family trip, I'm sure he's got you covered. Shout out
and
to
it's
him
not
for being
just
such a
cruises. It's not
it's
just
not just
cruises. He
cruises.
does
All right,
all
whatever
sorts of
you need.
vacation, all sorts
All
of
right,
vacation plans,
I'm gonna
local
be
and
over there, Juan.
abroad.
Be patient with me. Like, give me to maybe in the summer. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're gonna do something.
That's what's up. That's
Since you
what's up.
support us so faithfully, it's
Yeah,
only right that I support you back in return. You know what I'm saying? It's a
absolutely,
beautiful
man.
day in the neighborhood, as usual, ladies and gentlemen. And as usual, we are grateful, we are blessed, we are thankful, we are highly favored. You know what I mean? And we're just glad to be here. And we are glad that you guys did not count it robbery to come spend the hour of your day, although it may be your lunchtime. We
Mm-hmm.
appreciate your time. The most precious gift that we have in this world, one of the most precious currencies we have, besides love, is time.
Yeah,
Because once you donate that time, that's it.
that's it. Can't get it
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can't
So
get
we
it back.
appreciate you guys so much. This is
Yeah.
episode number 48.
Wow, you've done this thing 48 times, man.
Yeah, I went and checked before we pressed the button.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Episode 48, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. And some of you guys have been really sticking it out with us. And I saw something earlier this morning, and you can always appreciate the people who ride with you, that see the vision as you're
Mm-hmm.
grinding and
Mm-hmm.
going through it. And these people have been faithful. You know who you are. We shouted you out, and if we missed your name just now, and you're another one of our faithful supporters, I mean, you know who you are. You know
Yeah.
if you support or not. But we appreciate those that see the vision early and not wait till you know the success happens to want
Mm-hmm.
to support.
Yeah.
So yeah, we appreciate you guys for seeing the vision early. Shout out to all of our new members in the No Shortcuts
Yeah,
community.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forget exactly where we at now, but I think we might be
It's like,
approaching 300.
yeah, it was like 250 something. I
Should I
thought it
check
said the
right
last time I
fast?
checked it. Yeah, but thank you all for joining our community, joining the
Let me
group.
see something.
That way, if you missed the live broadcast at noon,
Yeah,
inside the
yeah,
group, it'll live there. You can watch it later. You can share it with your friends. You can tag some people. You can still comment and interact with us. And you can see
absolutely,
what everybody in the group is up to. You can see what Juan's up to.
absolutely.
You can see what Smooth Sales is up to.
Yeah,
All of our group members, fellow entrepreneurs and business owners and musicians, and just
absolutely.
a platform to interact with each other, cross promote, and just provide some inspiration.
Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen. So, if this is your first time coming across the No Shortcut show, look,
Yeah, buddy.
I'm trying to tongue twist.
He's
No
trying to.
Shortcut show with Midas and Fame, ladies and gentlemen. This is a platform that we started, basically because we believe in the spirit of entrepreneurship. And we understand that everyone, whether you even realize it or not, everyone has talents, everyone has gifts, everyone has passions, and we are here to motivate and encourage you to continue the journey of whatever your passion may happen to be. But not only that, it is possible to turn that passion into an occupation.
Yeah.
You know, Absolutely. So we're here. We created a platform. We wanted to share this platform with friends in our network of individuals who have different talents, different skill sets, different services that they provide. We wanted to share our platform with them. Not only that, but we also started that community, the No Shortcuts community, so we can, as DJ Famous said, ladies and
Mm-hmm.
gentlemen, we can circulate business amongst ourselves. And I really see this thing turning into something huge as we continue to work together.
Yeah.
And just because your face may not be on the screen, we know that you guys are working right along with us, and that means a ton. Means a
Yeah.
ton. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. We do.
Yeah,
We do appreciate
yeah,
it. But
man.
give an air horn for
Hit the air horn.
that. For the community.
Yes, 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 yes. So shall we recap the weekend before we proceed?
Yeah, yeah, let's do that. And Juan just hit it right there. He just a perfect segue, King, because he said shout out to
Okay.
DJ Miliano. I actually had the chance this weekend, so I
Yeah,
did
I
a
saw that. Nobody
yeah.
told me.
Well, it was super last
I
minute,
know,
bro.
I know.
I
Yeah.
did we did a bridal. I did a bridal show kind of styled photo shoot. It's this new venue that we're working with in up in Union County, a little bit past Monroe, and they were brand new, and they were doing their ribbon cutting and all that. So we brought in a bunch of vendors, kind of had a little celebration with their ribbon cutting. I had DJ Nuff Said with me. He played for like an hour or so, and I played for like an hour or so.
Yo, boys, the DJ takeover going on over the weekend.
Yeah, we did good. And then when I was there, I was just scrolling on my timeline, and I saw that Miliano posted that he was at Laurel Haven Estate, and that's my home venue. That's the one. That's the one I always talk about. That's like
I saw his
right
post
by my house.
In your comment,
like, yo, you're at Laurel Haven. I might go through there. And I didn't know what time I was getting out of this thing, but I got out early enough because we ended at like 7, so it was right on my way home. So I said,
man.
I'm gonna go wedding crash for a minute.
Yeah. You're a pro.
There, and I rolled up on Miliano, man. That's the first time I was meeting in person, you know.
Yeah.
And so I hung out with him for just a few minutes. I had to run, but I was out there for a few minutes just to kind of soak up some game from the homie.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, he was up there doing his work. And it was good. It was good to see him so close by. I was like, I can't miss this up because he's always up north, Wilmington, all that. So I was like, I can't pass up. This dude is 10 minutes from my house.
Man. And I saw his post, and I saw your reply, and then I think later on, because I was off this weekend, last weekend I should say, Friday and Saturday. But so I saw your reply, and later on Instagram, I saw your video. I was like, he actually did it. And I was thinking, I was like, man, that's really the essence of the platform.
Yeah.
You know, like granted, I met Miliano doing a wedding last year. We had him on the show. Then you've put like 2 and 2 together, realized you knew him from his marketing. Yeah. And then now you actually were able to pull up on him and have an official, hello and everything. And not only that, but I see you guys are going to be linking up as well as far as the DJ services.
Share some services and some ideas and stuff like that. So that's what it's all about, man. Especially in the DJ community, and it's like this in others too, but especially in the DJ community, there's not a lot of camaraderie that way. You know, DJs are really like, I got to get mine. If you don't get yours, you come out. But I prefer to, really, build partnerships and relationships with people.
Yeah.
Like I said, DJ Nuff Said working with me now. Miliano, I love to work with him some. And we don't get enough of that. We don't get enough of that, and it's enough out there for everybody. You know?
Absolutely. I think we talked about that sometime last year, but you can only be in one place at one time, but you can still service your clientele. Yeah. And if you have someone who's willing to do that as well, it may just so happen one of those Saturdays that you're free, they can throw you something as well. So it's just that's the way to do it. And hopefully, I know you said like normally DJs are kind of like standoffish and the camaraderie lacks, but hopefully, you guys are doing something that can change that whole narrative and show people a different way. Like, no, we can be friends even though we do the same thing, but again, it's only one of me.
Exactly. It's only one of me. That's how it started with like even me and Blake. We had Blake on the show early last year.
Right. Shout out to him.
DJ Blake, he always
hey, speaking of, look who just joined the chat. We talked him up. DJ Miliano just joined the chat.
Oh, that's him. Hey fam.
I'm not sure. I just see him. No, that's my guy. That's Charles Chuck Etcherson. He's a former keyboard player with the chairman of the board. Excellent keyboard player up there. He's up in North Carolina. He's a huge supporter still to this day. He comes to a lot of our events locally. Yeah. Hey, you guys, is that Ecamm link at the top?
Yeah, I can get it again.
Hey guys, on our end, or on Ecamm's end, I should say, it's not recognizing names. Ken Knox is in the house, but if you go to this link, Ken is in here. Ecamm.live/connect, folks, and that will let Facebook know or Ecamm, I should say, to pull your name up with your comment.
Yeah,
that link is right there at the bottom. Speaking of the chair, we talking everybody up today. Speaking of the chairman of the board, we have the legendary Ken Knox in here with us, ladies and gentlemen. band leader,
Mr. Kid Knox.
original member. We speaking everybody up right now.
Sure.
Okay, and that was DJ Miliano with the bang comment.
Yeah, that was him. I reckon when it said bang, I said, "Oh yeah, that's
yeah." All right. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we just here. We appreciate you guys coming through and supporting our platform. You know, we're here. We're building something. We're in the early stages, but we see the vision and what it could turn into. We got a plethora of musicians that come through here, ladies and gentlemen. A plethora of DJs. We got my guy Juan again. He's a cruise planner, a vacation planner. We're not gonna just limit him to cruise planners. If you guys got some trips you thinking about taking this summer, this spring, this fall, this winter,
shout him out.
Holla at Juan. He's in the chat. His links and everything is in there. Shout out to my mom and her Our Power community. Much love to my mother, who's always supported me. That's all I know from her. And they say love is an action word. And I appreciate my mother and the rest of my family for showing love and showing support in whatever it is that I involve myself. So we hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everybody is enjoying their lunch hour. Let us know what you guys are snacking on so we can get some ideas.
I had a couple bites of mine so far.
See what I'm in the mood for today. See who can influence me. What'd you have?
Oh, I made some salmon and some mixed vegetables and pasta on the side.
Yeah, that sounds like you had a good weekend.
Well, it was actually dinner last night. It was last night's dinner, and we had enough that we made it again for our lunch today.
It's nothing. Hey, the leftovers. It's great when you can prepare something and have enough left over for the next day.
Yeah, we prepared it. We only prepared enough for 2 yesterday. Instead of cooking it all yesterday, we just cooked half of it. And then today we cooked the other half.
So you like to prepare twice.
Some things is better when you just prepare it.
Yeah, you better than me. I'll go ahead and cook it all. So I just
microwave that thing.
Yeah, man. Just an air fryer. Just get it. It's the major work is already done. You know what I'm saying? But all good, man. Yeah.
Man. So that was Thursday, and then Saturday was a wedding, and I forgot where. Oh, in Belmont. I forgot where I'm at. I was in Belmont Saturday for a wedding at Camelot Meadows, which is also a fairly new venue. It's been there like 2 years now, but it was pretty cool. Nice and low key event. And I had a second wedding that I didn't do, but company wise, we had a second wedding at McBride Hall in Winthrop.
Okay.
And DJ Nix did
That's a lovely venue over there at Winthrop, McBride Hall. Classy, formal. You know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Yeah, DJ Nix did that one. And
shout out to him.
And he did a great job, man. I heard back from the client today about how great he did.
And that's the one you were speaking about, right? Where you said you had to kind of explain that you had to remind them it wasn't going to be you.
Right.
Yeah. So
exactly.
it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly. Apparently he killed it. He had a great time, and they left. You know, they're going to leave with some feedback, official feedback. But she hit me up via text today saying that he did a great job. He was awesome. So that was good, man. It all worked out. It all worked out perfectly, brother. That was the weekend.
Yes, sir. And real quick, we got DJ Nuff Said is in the house. We got Canada in the house. Miss Marissa. Marissa, I haven't said your last name since That's My Story. Marissa Corleone. I think I got it right this time. Yeah, she used to stomp me on that, you know, but she had to tell me this is how you pronounce it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
like Don Corleone.
Yeah, so she was one of our. Yeah, exactly. Makes me think of The Godfather. That's what I used to think of when I used to say it. But she used to support the That's My Story platform, the other show that I was a part of during the COVID times, man. Yeah, so we appreciate all you guys for popping in today and hanging out with us.
Share it with your peeps. Share it with your friends and your
family. Hit the share, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to hit the share if you would like to. Not if you like to, just go ahead and hit it. Just hit the share for us one time, you know. And the more folks, the merrier. If you feel like your friends would like to hop in, or may possibly want to hop in and hang out with us for the next hour, up until about 1 or so, please do so.
Whoever's driving and watching, be careful.
That's Ken. Don't hit the share button right now. You just keep listening.
Yeah. Speaking of Kid Knox, this time for an announcement. So next week we will not be live because of spring break. And so we won't be live, but we will be running the Ken Knox episode of No Shortcuts. So we had Mr. Knox on late last year for a great interview, talked about his story, kind of growing up in Detroit and how he got into the Carolina beach music scene. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be rerunning that interview next Tuesday at noon, same time. So all of our new members who haven't had a chance to see that one yet, because it lives on YouTube, but we're going to have it right here in the group. We'll be replaying that one for you.
Yeah, and with that also being said, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to go to thechairmanoftheboard.com. Check out our scheduling. We about to really ramp up here. We've been sprinkling a little bit, and with indoor venues, because the weather's still not up to par for our outdoor festivals, because got to wait for the spring summer seasons. But please go to thechairmanoftheboard.com. We're about to ramp up, especially going into May. And shout out to Marissa out there in Canada. She's trying to get us out there in Canada along with our friends, the Honeycomb, the lovely ladies of the Honeycomb. So we're hoping that works out. She's, they're working on finding, we got a venue and linking up promoters. It's got to be several little dots that have to be connected, but hopefully that'll be worked out soon. Much love on that end,
nice. Up to Canada. Nice.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been. I think the last time I've been was a family reunion in Detroit. I'm trying to remember the year that the T-shirt says. I was in college though. Yeah. You gotta have the T-shirts, right? Family reunion at the Doubletree or the Radisson, one of those up there in Detroit. And while we were up there, we went over into Canada. I'm trying to think, into Windsor, Canada. And when we went to Niagara Falls for a day and stuff like that. So it was cool. Cool stuff.
I met a nice lady from Toronto yesterday, man. We did our I do the prison ministry on Mondays. And this week was a big, a lot of the outreach directors at all of our church campuses came into Charlotte this week for a big outreach summit kind of thing.
Nice.
So a lot of them came to our prison ministry, our church on Monday. So I met the outreach director from the Toronto campus and from the Raleigh campus and from Greensboro campus. They all are also interested in getting into prison ministry on their side. So they came to see our production and our church service on Mondays with the guys in Kershaw. We had 120 guys come to church yesterday.
Wow!
And
hey, hit the applause for that.
Yeah,
prison ministry, 120 guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's been our highest number so far. We've been doing this since like July. But, it's been great, man. We actually had one of our pastors come in live and preach yesterday. So that was pretty cool to hear too.
Yeah,
one of my favorite speakers for sure. He came in and did a live sermon for the guys, and it was real good, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, as I say, man, big kudos to you for doing that, because those people who are incarcerated, whether guilty or not guilty, still deserve another chance. A lot of times they fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
People forget about them. Things of that nature, which you cannot control, it being on the inside and the world is still functioning on the outside, but to have the idea or the mindset to go minister to them and uplift and let them know, hey, that you can turn your life around if you choose to. That's huge, man.
That's been good to hear, especially like this time of the month, because it's almost release time, so people getting out April 1st. Or people getting out May 1st. I have a bunch of dudes that's getting out Friday because it's April 1st.
Okay.
One guy that's getting out May 1st, man, he's been in 17 years.
Wow.
And he's getting out May 1st, and he'll be able to see his son graduate high school.
Awesome.
Because he's getting out in time for that. But think about it. He's been inside
the whole time.
Yeah,
I can't even fathom.
Yeah, so he's excited, man. We're really happy. Yeah. That's right, Juan. Juan says Jesus ran with a crew that was seen as criminals. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So I mean, and sometimes we can't. Good is only a threat to evil.
That's right.
So I might be a threat to somebody myself, you know.
Sure.
But hey, good is only a threat to evil, man. So
Preach it.
we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. But hey, so we normally have a guest, ladies and gentlemen.
We just been kicking it.
Yeah, I think they left.
Our guest left.
They said we was taking too long with the catch
guest,
up and everything.
We had the guests in the green room all the time.
A 30-minute intro. Let me see if I can call them and see if they're still there. No, but matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a special guest for today.
You know how at the end of every Jimmy Kimmel show, when he said, "Oh, sorry to Matt Damon, we couldn't get him on today. we didn't have room for you."
Yeah, but we do have some things lined up, ladies and gentlemen, and some guests coming up. But a lot of folks we have spoken to, you know, we do this freely, you know, but we do it intentionally and we do it purposefully. But what we do, ladies and gentlemen, not to give away too much of the secret sauce, we casually speak to our friends who know who we know do things. We invite them on, you know, several at a time.
Sometimes it work out, sometimes it don't. Schedule conflict, stuff like that.
Absolutely. But
we got pretty much the whole month of April. We got that already booked up. But this week,
it is tax season.
It's us.
And we know it is tax season. You know, a couple of people have informed me they're in the middle of doing that, which you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, not only when you are employed, but you also have to do when you're self-employed or you're running a business. So we totally understand. I'm knocking mine. I'm in the process of knocking mine out and have it wrapped up by next week too. So you know what I mean? And you know how you plan, you plan to have it done already, but you got kids, they got stuff going on and you're up and down the road and things. But with spring break coming up, and I was off last weekend, I started putting a dent in it. I'll finish it up, you know, during spring break. I was telling you in the green room, I got my son's orthodontist stuff and dental stuff set up for next week. Because I don't want him to miss any school with these type of things. So, you know, I'm like, okay, we'll get this stuff done during spring break. Because right now school moves so fast. And if you got to get signed out for an hour or two and try to come back, you know, I'm like, I think it's best we just wait where we got a gap in the schedule, you know, and get some stuff knocked out. So
I think next year this time we might do a tax show.
And I was thinking about that because the lady that does mine, she works for herself, and she gave me a lot of insight over the years. It was like what you're eligible to do and not do, you know, because one of the things we should know if you're in the position of being self-employed, ladies and gentlemen, is like your deductions and things like that, your mileage, meals, you know, certain things you're spending on throughout the year, you're able to write off come tax time. But you better have your receipts. Have your receipts. That's the most important.
That's for sure. We're going to bring up a tax expert for entrepreneurs next year, tax time. Speaking of taxes, I have to make an appointment today.
Marissa.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yes. Hey, listen, this show serves many purposes, ladies and gentlemen.
We provide a service.
It serves many purposes. And the greatest thing, or one of the great things about the show is not just the guests, not just the entrepreneurship, not just the networking, but just having a common place where like minds can meet. I said it in the intro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Platform where like minds can eat. You know. So with that being said, we're communicating on this virtual platform, but at the same time we have conversation. I may say something that somebody needs to hear. Famous may say something that you guys need to hear, and vice versa. You guys may say something that we need to hear, and that one little thing could just give us just enough boost to get through the rest of the day, the rest of the week, and then we do it again. You know.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So back to our guest situation, right?
So a couple weeks ago, you know, we decided to hit the reset a little bit because we have a lot of new members, new people in the community that's going to be watching this, and they're like, who are these dudes, right? So what I did was we decided we're going to interview Midas. And we did part 1 of the Midas interview, kind of, you know, do his upbringing and his story leading up to we're going to still do part 2 at some point because we got to get to the chairman of the board days and some other things that's happened since where we left off. Right. But today, Midas said, how about this?
Yeah. How about this? So what I said to DJ Famous, I'm like, hey, since I did my quote unquote part 1 a couple of weeks ago where we had a gap in the schedule, instead of me doing a part 2, why don't we do a part 1 on you? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we do that, and at least we be even, and then from there I could catch up with my part 2, and then he can do his part 2.
I reluctantly said okay.
Yeah. But listen, the folks at home want to know about your story as well.
Absolutely.
You know, he tries to play the background, ladies and gentlemen, but
I'm not going to let him. Super background.
I'm not going to let him. And as I've introed him many times on the show, you know, he's not just a DJ. I met him, you know, he was DJing initially, but since then he's also become, you know, an entertainment consultant. He's also a digital media strategist, you know, as well as an event coordinator. And he also executive produces this platform, the No Shortcut Show with Midas and Fame. And not only that, but he's a co-host on this platform. So he's added, since we have first met 11, 12 years ago, he has added 4 more titles on.
I took away a couple jobs and added a lot more.
Yeah. And over the years, we have worked together numerous times, you know, in a weekly capacity at one point, sometimes twice a week, you know, whether it be we're providing music for corporate situation, weddings, or just regular, you know, your restaurant, lounge, bars, or whatever, you know. And not only that, but we've thrown our own events. We had we've thrown hip hop showcases, which gave other artists locally an opportunity to perform, you know, because what people don't realize is you can't just get a local hip hop show.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible. So what we did was we started hosting events, you know, at these places. I would MC, he would DJ, and then we would set up actual hip hop showcases for others, whether they were our friends or just acquaintances. You got music, invite your friends. We're having a showcase this day. Get your music. Give us your instrumentals,
bring your flash drive. Bring your people get to see you perform it. You know, that was great. People, you know, they got to get their hours in performance time because they really had nowhere else to. You know, they were in the studios, but they weren't anywhere out there performing. Some of these people, so that was a good opportunity to let them do that, man. I enjoyed it.
So I mean, you know, as we reflect back, man, so much has been done, but let's go back to the beginning for you, because you know we always ask, and you're the guest today, where you're born and raised, and tell us a little bit about your family life and your upbringing and your family parents and things.
Sure. Thanks for asking, man. That's a great question.
My pleasure.
So I was born in a little town called Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, that's eastern part of the state, and that's where my family's from that part of the state. And I was raised in New York and New Jersey though, because we moved. So my mom had, I had an older brother. He's about 3 years older than me and myself, and my mom moved to New York when I was in the first grade. So my grandmother, my mom's mother, lived in New York already. She had already moved to New York, you know, years prior. So my mom moved us to New York.
What part of New York would that
be? Queens, New York, Rosedale.
Queens get the money.
That's right. So we moved to Queens in the first grade. We lived with my grandparents up there in New York at the time. They had a nice house in the suburbs, and they had a basement. A lot of houses in New York back then, especially, they were built with basements. So it was pretty much like a little apartment. You know, it was like 2 bedrooms in the basement. So that's where we lived. You know, my brother and I and my mom in the basement apartment there with my grandparents, and it was just always something happening. And my grandmother's husband, who is my grandfather, but we always called him Uncle T. Because everybody called him Uncle T.
Yeah, I know
but
how that goes, and you know
yeah.
how it goes.
So he's West Indian. He's from the Caribbean. So he
Okay.
always had his people over. Like on the weekends, there was always music and playing cards and
Yeah.
Budweiser all over the place. You know what
You
I'm saying?
know
This
it.
is back in the early '80s. So
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was always something happening, man, and always a lot of people coming and going. And my
Hmm.
grandmother, she always took care of everybody. She was always, that's why
The
I think that's how
matriarch.
Uncle T got the name because it was all nieces and nephews running around all the time,
Right.
helping out family members and stuff like that. So that
Yeah.
was where I was raised. We lived there for a few years until my
Hmm.
mom, kind of got established up there on her own, and then we,
Okay.
moved out to our own place in the Bronx. In the Bronx, I lived
Hmm.
in the Bronx for a minute, and
Okay.
it was good, man.
Yeah.
That was the first few years.
All right. So I could imagine though the type of records that were being played.
Oh yeah.
You said you had some West Indian culture,
Yeah,
you
yeah. So
know,
Uncle
and
T was a music lover, man. I really think he was the first DJ I knew. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
in that basement he had a bar, and
Okay.
on the other side of the bar, like if you're looking behind me right now, if this is the bar, on the other side of
Uh,
the bar, he had a whole wall full of records. He had
wow.
turntable, he had
Okay.
stereo system, and he had like his whole liquor collection. So it was like
Hmm.
he had a full setup, man. And that was like
Yeah.
his happy place. He would go down there,
Yeah.
and just be playing music. Sometimes just by himself. He'd just go down
Yeah.
there, put his records on, and
Yeah.
drink a little something and just be hanging
Hmm.
out, smoking little
Yeah.
cigarettes or whatever. And I was
Hmm.
always, listening to music. You know.
Yeah. Now, was he doing gigs and shows as well? It was
No,
just
no,
something that.
no. He wasn't actually a DJ, but he was just my version because
Right. Right.
he
Got you.
was just
Okay.
playing
Okay.
playing
Okay.
music
Yeah.
in the basement all the time.
Got you.
From
Got you.
playing
Okay.
music in the basement, and I also remember on the kitchen table there was a little boombox radio on the kitchen table, and
Gotta have it.
that's where I started listening to, like, back in the days in New York it was like DJ Red Alert and Chuck
Oh,
Shabbat, and you had like
red
one
alert.
like 2 hours a night where you could hear hip hop, at that
Right.
point. So I'd be
Hmm.
glued to that radio, 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
whatever. And that was really where I really started falling in love with hip hop from there.
Yeah. Now, would you say Uncle T had an influence on you as far as the mystique, the whole aura of playing music? Maybe it made
Yeah,
you feel a certain way
yeah, it
when the
really
records
did.
came on.
It really did because I can remember the way he talked about music and the way he
Hmm.
felt about music when it played. And he was always trying to put you up on game. And
Hmm.
he'd tell you, oh, this is, you got to get on this, you got to listen to this, not that mess you listen to, that kind of stuff,
Ah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That all
Yeah,
the like new music is always like
yeah,
subpar
exactly.
to an older head, you know.
Yeah, he was big on, like, the oldies R&B especially, but also his Caribbean influence. There was a lot of like soca, a lot of jazz. He was really into a lot of different types of music too. So that's where it came from with me. And then my mom, same way. My mom was into all the the R&B stuff. She
Hmm.
was really into R&B. So even when we lived in New York, you know, my mother's father, my grandfather,
Okay.
and the rest of my family was still here in North Carolina, so we would still
Hmm.
come down for the summers.
Hmm.
So we
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
drive from New York to North Carolina, to go stay for a few weeks in the summer and stuff. And that whole
Okay.
ride was always music. You know,
Music. Yeah,
my mom
man.
would be
That's.
playing all the jams, man, like Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye
Hmm.
was her favorite, of course.
Hmm.
Um, Blue Magic, you know.
Mm.
She
Yeah.
loved Blue Magic and like the
Yeah.
Stylistics and all that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah.
just grew
Yeah.
up always listening,
Hearing.
hearing music played
Yeah.
around the house all the time.
And one thing I've come to realize over the years, man, music surrounds us. Like if you're watching TV, there's music in the program that you watch. There's music in the
Hmm.
commercials,
Yeah.
music on the radio. When you go to the gym or whatever, there's music playing. Sometimes people
Hmm.
put their own earbuds in. What else? Even down to when you're on a phone call and they put you on hold. You're on an
Yeah.
elevator.
Yeah.
Whatever the like, you can't escape it. I think it's just a matter if you're open to it to that level.
Hmm.
But music is always around it. So So okay, so New York,
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth to the Carolinas.
Yeah.
We got Uncle T who's playing records, and
Yeah.
you got some hip hop going,
Yeah.
some R&B going, depending on who's in charge of the tape deck and the
Exactly.
records. So
Exactly.
so what's your journey like? I guess maybe high school or because I think you told me before you used to do some singing along the way.
Yeah, yeah, man. It was always music going on. So when I was
Yeah,
in before high school even, like so in middle school, we moved to New Jersey for a few years. So I was living in New Jersey, Irvington, New Jersey. And
yeah.
my brother, my older brother, 3 years older than me, he was a rapper. He wanted to be a rapper. So he was
Mm,
always rapping, writing lyrics, and we
yeah.
had a little thing going where I was going to be his DJ. I didn't have nothing,
Okay.
I had no equipment to DJ, but he was rapping. He had a little thing, and
Yeah.
he ended up. So we were in Jersey at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
he ended up hooking up with a lot of the same people that work with Queen Latifah because she was kind of from the same area. She went to
Yeah.
the same high
Flavor
school.
unit.
Yeah, she went to
Okay.
the same high school that was in our town, and so he hooked up with like this guy. His name was DJ Mark.
Okay.
Marky Fresh. Marky
Marky
Fresh. Not the
Fresh. Okay.
45 King DJ Mark, but Marky
Yeah,
Fresh.
yeah. Okay,
And
got you.
my brother had a little thing with him, and he was working together a lot, and a lot of the same people that was influential in the beginning stages, of
Mm-hmm.
Latifah and Flavor Unit and all of them. So he would
Mm-hmm.
do little local shows around town in New Jersey, and
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted I wanted to DJ, man. I started making little mixtapes, but just with a tape recorder, like
Yeah.
put a
Yeah.
song and then record another song and then record
Right.
another song, like make little
Yeah,
mixes
yeah.
like that. So I was just always doing that, man, always with the music. And when I was in high school, we moved back to Queens when I was in high
Okay.
school.
Okay.
And when I was in high school, my music class, the music teacher decided to turn the music class into a choir.
Mm.
I was never trying out for a choir, nothing like that. But he said, we're going to turn this into a choir. It's going to be the
Got you.
school choir, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
So then he
nice.
had everybody kind of singing, a little audition type thing here and there to see who could do what.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought of myself as a singer. I still don't. But
Yeah.
he ended up pushing me and a couple other people to audition for. There was the New York City All City High School Choir,
Okay.
right? Which is kind of what it sounds like. They
Yeah, yeah.
basically supposedly the best singers in all the high schools get
Uh-huh.
together, make one big thing.
Right.
He put some gas in my tank, and I, made me think I could do it. And I
Yeah.
went and I tried out, man. I think I had 2 tryouts, and I actually made the choir. So I'm in the All
Okay.
City High School Choir, and we did shows all around New York City, Carnegie Hall,
Nice.
Lincoln Center.
Uh-huh.
We would always be at the Christmas tree lighting, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
And then we also ended up touring Spain. We went to Spain twice,
Wow. See, I
doing
didn't
music.
even know this.
Yeah, when I
I
was
know
in
this
high
guy
school.
a long time. I didn't
Yeah.
even know this.
Yeah, man. We went to Spain
You know?
twice in high school touring, doing a lot of, we did a lot of classical stuff, but then once the gospel aspect came into it, we started
You
doing
know it?
gospel as well. Out
Uh-huh.
in Europe, they were loving that. So like,
Wow.
we were killing them doing the gospel up in Europe. So, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
150, probably at the height, it was maybe like 150 kids. But,
Mm-hmm.
we used to have rehearsals every Saturday morning, and then it was just
Wow.
shows throughout the week and stuff like that, especially
Yeah.
during the holiday season.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. And gospel, man, gospel and soul to me are almost identical. The only thing is different is the message.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, if that makes sense,
yeah.
yeah. But because the way that it's sung and the way that it hits you,
Hmm.
is pretty much the same. It's sung with that fire, for lack of a
Yeah,
better term.
yeah.
It's sung in a way that's just in an emotional manner. So yeah.
Hmm.
So you were singing.
Yeah,
So
man, I never really
that's all I
pursued
knew
it.
about the singing. I didn't know all the
Yeah,
details and
yeah.
going to Spain and being at the Christmas tree lighting and
I never
this.
pursued it because I never thought of myself as I'm always behind the scene guys, But we did
Yeah.
like even in middle school, we did little talent shows. Me and my homeboys did like The Boys and ABC and all that stuff, But I was always the one that don't sing, but just kind of I was the Mike Bivens of the crew.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, just make sure you stand right here.
Yeah,
and you get right there. All right, and we go. Yeah, sometimes you got to just blend in. But find your role.
Right.
And find your comfort zone at the same time. Wow. Yeah,
but I
that's
always
incredible.
like, just being a part of, live action music and stuff like that. So then eventually, man, I was working like a little part-time job. This might have been when I was working at Taco Bell, but I finally had a little money to save up to get some DJ equipment.
Yeah.
And I bought a couple Gemini turntables.
Okay.
And them big floor speakers with the gray carpet, the gray carpet looking joints.
Yeah, I got some with the black carpet in a closet.
Yeah. I got some of those joints, man. And then I decided to start working on DJing, man. I just started really perfecting that, scratching and mixing. I don't really scratch too much, but like mixing, I was always big on mixing and blending, kind of creating something from something else,
Right,
and,
right.
I just started working on that, and I did that, throughout, New York, and that last few years I was in New York, and then moved to Charlotte in 2002.
Okay.
And said, let's crank it back up.
Yeah. So now were you doing any gigs in New York before you came back down to Charlotte, or you just got your equipment and was just getting your reps in?
Just getting my reps in, little house stuff. I mean, people I knew. I do little, small house parties here and there.
Yeah, friends and family stuff. You know how it goes.
Once I went in with a guy who was DJing at this club that I wasn't even old enough to get into, but I was in there with him, kind of thing. Okay. And I was able to get on and
do a little bit. Something.
Yeah, I was like GQ and Juice, man. That was my inspiration. I was like, I could do this. When I saw him, I saw Juice. I was like, yo, I got to do this. I gotta be a DJ.
Yeah, and that's great, man. I mean, and there's many things that kind of nudge us down the path of our journey along the way. Sometimes you're not even aware that you're actively pursuing. You're just doing what feels natural, or doing what you like, and then it ends up turning into something. So so you moved back to North Carolina, and you've been, you got some equipment, you've been DJing, friends and family, things like that, smaller functions. How did you go about earning, or grabbing your first gig?
Oh, once I moved to North Carolina, I got married, we had kids, I put the DJ to the side for a minute. And then once I decided I wanted to get back into it, because I had a family member, cousin, or my wife at the time, her cousin, he started DJing, and he lived in Charlotte too. So he showed me his, he had everything digital, because I had everything records, you know what I'm saying? Now we kind of fast forward to the digital age,
to where
the
CDs and now there's even CDs.
Yeah, so I was like, yo, I could do this. So then I said, you know what, I'm gonna start DJing again. He was doing a lot of Latin music and stuff. Okay. And I said, yo, I'm gonna start DJing again. So I spent like months importing all my CDs into iTunes, into a hard drive. So everything could be digital.
Tedious task.
Yeah, it took a long time. And then once I moved to Rock Hill, and I got hooked up with the friends that we have in Rock Hill, Jimmy and all of them.
Yeah.
When I was working in Rock Hill, they told me about this club that they all go to in Rock Hill. Oh, you got to come, and I'm like, oh no, it don't sound like my kind of thing, right? But you got to come, man. It's a good time. It's a good time. And I went to this club, the Long Branch in Rock Hill. And it's like a band. They got a band playing and a DJ, and they kind of alternate half an hour, whatever. Right. And I was like, yo, and the DJ who was there, it probably wasn't. Shout out to DJ Richard Rich, because it probably wasn't him. But whoever was there the first time I was there, I was like, yo, because they weren't doing a whole lot of blending. It was kind of like playing a song.
Start and stop.
So me
That's
coming
one
from
thing
Queens,
you can't do. Can we take a moment real quick with your DJing? And we know the guys in here don't do this because we're all professionals. But if you're an up and coming DJ, keep the music going. No start, no stop. You got to figure a way to match these tempos. Figure it out.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier these days, but back then, and it was a lot of that. And I was like, yo, if I came down here, I think I could kill it. because I mean that was my first experience in the South Carolina club. I was like, "This is what South Carolina club is like." Right. So I went there a few weeks, and Jimmy knew the owners and stuff like that. So I said, he said, my man DJ, you should let him come on. And they gave me a week. It was like that. It was probably like a Thursday that they gave me the first time.
Okay. Thursday used to be lit in Rock Hill back in the day.
But not this one. It was like the Thursday of like a holiday or something. So it was like nobody there,
Wow, I got never mind.
Yeah, the one that all the other DJs wanted to be off, So I think I got that, and I just kind of grew it from there. And I just started, from the Long Branch after they closed. Ended up going to a couple other spots in Rock Hill, man. And then it just kind of went from there, just being the club / bar DJ around the York County area. Yeah.
So and then so I'm trying to think. So we met what year? It had to be. I'm trying to. I remember it was like 06, 07.
Yeah, I was thinking it had to be like 15 years ago now.
15. So that's 08. We'll say 08. So we don't lie. Yeah. But through mutual friends, they brought you to a Mellow Groove show.
Yeah, it actually was two different friends that both knew you.
Yeah. One was from my hometown.
One from your hometown, and one knew you. I forgot how she knew you, but it was two different people talking about this same guy. Oh, you should meet this guy. He's real cool. I think they saw the similarities and sensibilities and stuff like that. Yeah. And I came down to the show. And I got a bad memory, so I can't tell you much about it. But I remember the show, and I think it was like we went somewhere afterwards, like a whole crew of us. Went to your place afterwards and kind of hung out, and that's when we really got to get to know each other. And
me and you was over to the side, just chatting, talking music and ideas, So and it's crazy how the universe works, because that one conversation turned into what we got going on today. So then that's backtracking on what I was saying in the beginning. We started doing we would do events where you're DJing. I'm MCing.
Did I ever tell you how that idea first came to me though? And it was around that same time.
Nah, I don't think so.
When Jazzy Jeff, I saw this video and he made like a documentary, and it was like a 45-minute show of him DJing. It was like in London somewhere. And Mad Skills was MC.
Shout out to Mad. I went and saw their set before too. So that's where you got the idea.
That's where I got the idea from. I was like, Jeff was doing this thing, and I never, again, behind the scenes guy, I was never really big on MCing while I DJ and stuff like that. And Mad Skills was doing this thing, and he was like educating the crowd on what Jeff was doing, on the music, on the history of this song, and this is where this sample came from, that kind of stuff. I was like, man, that is ill. And then it was literally like in that same time period where we met, and I was like, there's my Mad Skills.
No doubt. Yeah, because that's one thing. That's one thing I do. When DJ Famous is playing records and I'm there, and available to MC. The MC has to entertain the crowd. But through commentary, through remarks about the song, I may give you a little history, and I've even thrown, and I can even throw ideas at you because of the music that I'm familiar with. I can say, that you're playing that. Oh, but check this out. This is the same. This is the same groove from this song. Right. And then so we're doing all of this at the same time. Sometimes on the spot. Sometimes now some of these things are part of our routine, but you're just entertaining. You're just giving putting a voice to the atmosphere, so to speak, as an MC. And then when it comes to weddings, of course, you're doing all the announcements, announcing the wedding party, things like that. But if it's just a fun time, if it's not a serious occasion. We're just entertaining, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all it was. We had a good time. We'll get to the wedding stuff in part 2 of this thing.
Okay.
I can spoiler alert. I can spoiler alert and tell you that when I was DJing, when I first started DJing, and for the first half of my DJ life, I thought wedding DJs was whack. I can tell you that, right? I was like, nah, they're not real. They're not real DJs. They're corny. It's the last thing I wanted to do. And now look at me. Now look at me. I've been educated on that thing.
So after you say you used to think wedding DJs was whack, is this where we hit them with the join us next week?
To be continued. Join us next week. As Famous
always
realizes that they're not whack.
Yeah, they always you're not supposed to say you realize yet, so you got it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You know how they do. They wait to the one part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to make sure you guys come back.
I was not trying to be a wedding DJ. I wanted to be king of the club, man. I wanted to be Jazzy Jeff. I wanted to be, Jam Master Jay, especially from Queens. That's what I wanted to be. I didn't want to be no wedding DJ. I just thought they were cheesy. I guess from the ones that I saw, they were cheesy, like over the top, radio guys. That wasn't my thing.
Yeah, but in essence, it was just the opposite. But see, you probably had to get to a place where your heart, minds, and eyes was open.
Yeah.
To like, okay, I see, and then
it's not what I thought it was.
Yeah. So never judge a book by its cover, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
I think that's what we're gonna title this episode.
Yeah, man, you didn't know I could sing. You were judging me.
Yeah. So
I still can't sing.
Yeah, but hey, listen, but you know what? All of those things probably play a part, even subconsciously, with records you choose, with blends you choose.
Yeah.
You have the experience, and the rehearsal, and the just the experience, travel, singing vocals, hearing vocals, and I assume that even in your subconscious, even though you may not be out there belting out the notes, it still plays a part in your DJ.
It helps with the musicality because you can, when you know music like that, you can hear harmonies. You can hear transitions. You can hear key. You can hear what's this song. It might be the same tempo, but that's not the same key. Right. So they don't go together just because they're both 120 beats a minute.
Exactly.
So you can hear
you're able to dig a little deeper than just the tempo. You can match key, or if you got to speed one up a little bit, slow one down a little bit, you're not going to give away the sauce.
So, that musical training, vocal training, and stuff like that definitely helped with that because it was real intensive, man.
I could imagine. And so we right here at an hour, a little over, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for hanging out with us this week. Sure. Oh, it's been a fun time. This I tell you, Tuesday comes quicker and quicker as the weeks fly by, and this 1 hour that we do on Tuesday goes by even faster. So but that's because you guys come here, you guys bring the energy, you guys chat, you guys interact, and it's a good time. I honestly look forward to doing this every week. Thank you, Mom. We appreciate it. Shout out to Marissa Corleone one more time out in Canada. Shout out to Juan. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to Charles, a.k.a. Chuck. Who else? Shout out to DJ Nuff Said. I'm just scrolling back. Make sure we show love. DJ Miliano. Shout out to you. And shout out to everybody else who catches the replay. And ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the board will be at Pineville Park in Pineville, North Carolina, this Saturday for Pause in the Park. That's Pause, P-A-W-S. Pause in the Park.
Pause.
They're gonna, they're gonna have it's a dog show. If you got a fur baby, and if you're a fur mama or a fur daddy, I don't even know. I don't
That's
have.
What it is. That's what it is.
Bring your fur baby to the dog show. Lots of vendors, lots of lots of nice exotic foods and all of this different stuff. Nice. But the chairman of the board is performing, if I'm not mistaken, from 1:30 until 3 o'clock on Saturday in Pineville. That address is 1000 Pineville Park Road. And also Mellow Groove will be in Greer, South Carolina on Saturday night. I'm dipping my chicken tender in the sauce 2 times. We got the guys from Mellow Groove. We'll be in Greer Saturday night at Rubens on the Parkway from 8 to 11. Looking forward to this. More so because I got a lot of college friends who in the area. They missed us the last time, so y'all better be there this time because we didn't know. So y'all come through, man, this Saturday at Rubens on the Parkway. That's Saturday night, 8 to 11. I'm taking this Sunday off from church because I'm because I'm got so much going on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it would be pretty, hectic trying to get back at playing 2 shows, trying to get back and get up early. But fortunately, this falls on a weekend where the hymn choir is hosting, so they really won't need me to. Only the preacher would need me for the most part. But I'm gonna go ahead and not run myself too ragged. But I'm gonna take it easy this Sunday and pick back up. Shout out to the lovely folks at Mount Dewell Baptist Church. Yeah. Shout out to Praise and Faith Gospel Shop. Shout out to the Our Power community. Touch of Faith, Smooth Sales, all of the chairman of the board family, all of our executives who make up the chairman of the board. Shout out to the Honeycomb family. Shout out to the Earth, Wind, and Fire family. With that being said, we do have some special guests in store as you guys continue to take this journey with us. You got any closing words before we get out of here?
Man, I think that's it. I've said enough words. Yo, make sure you share this. Make sure you share this, or put somebody in the comments that you think might like this show or might benefit from hearing this. And again, we will be on rerun schedule just next week for spring break. So make sure you tune in next week to get that Ken Knox replay episode.
Yeah,
and then we'll be back live in 2 weeks. Very special guest.
Yeah, he's probably still driving, I think, but I hope you made it to your destination okay. Chuck, hope your appointment went well. Chuck's he comments so much. I'm trying to make it. We appreciate you guys, even if you can't stay the whole time, even if you just pop in and say hello. It's counted just the same. I might have to get signed out early, but you get marked present.
That's
what I'm saying? Till next week, ladies and gentlemen, we bid you adieu. Godspeed. Peace and love. Thank you so much again for your time. Shout out to DJ Famous for being a lovely guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll do
Part 2 soon come.
Coming soon. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. God bless. Thank you all again. We out of here.